System communication is a must in order to continue to make progress on your recovery journey. Early on, your system may have little or no communication. Developing some ability to communicate is healing in itself. The daily habit I'm going to tell you about will not only help with system communication, it will help with trust and developing cooperation within the system. That's a lot of payoff for one habit. So what is this superpower of a habit? The daily meeting. I used to call it a morning meeting, but many of my clients don't start their days until afternoon, and the name was confusing in those situations. So now I call it the daily meeting, but encourage you to do it shortly after your day starts, whenever that is. For the daily meeting, you are going to ask everyone in the system to gather around or listen in. If your system has a meeting spot, do it there. If your system does not have a meeting spot, you might just ask everyone to listen to you. Because I'm assuming you are still early in your recovery journey, you're going to tell them the date and where you are. For instance, today is Wednesday, August 14th. The year is 2024. The body is grown up now. Although we grew up in Salt Lake City, Utah, we now live in Kansas City, Missouri. So why do I want you to tell your system this? Because many of the parts holding trauma will believe that they are still living in your childhood home back in 1989 or whatever the year. We want them to become oriented to the present and its different circumstances. Telling them once or even a dozen times may not change their orientation to where and when, but over time it will make a difference. Next, ask who is present at the meeting. Early on, you may hear nothing but silence, and that's okay. But if you get responses, that's fantastic. Thank those parts for being at the meeting. Now, you want to let everyone in the system know what to expect for the day. Here's what we're doing today. At noon, we're going to work. If this is scary to anyone, you can go to a safe space inside instead. At 4 p.m., we will go home from work. We're stopping at the grocery store on the way home to get a few groceries. After dinner, we're going to meet Jane and walk around the park. By letting everyone know what to expect in the coming hours, you can reduce anxiety in the system. If you have a doctor's appointment and some alters are scared of the doctor, it can help for them to understand the appointment will be happening. And if they're scared about it, at least they have had warning instead of suddenly finding themselves at the doctor's office. Also, you have reminded them that they do not have to be present at that doctor's appointment and can instead go to a safe place inside, leaving you, the adult, to handle the appointment. Next, ask, does anyone have any concerns or questions about today? Wait a minute to see if anyone brings up anything. It may take them a bit of time to decide it's safe to ask you, so don't rush. Finally, thank you all for coming to this meeting. Tomorrow, at the beginning of the day, we will do this again so you know what to expect. And that's it. This new daily habit might take all of 2 or 3 minutes. It's not a long meeting. Probably the hardest part about it initially is just remembering to make it a habit. If this is a problem for you, set a reminder alarm on your phone for a time when you're certain you will be awake for the day. So if you typically wake up for the day around 11 a.m. or noon, set your alarm for 12:30 or 1 p.m. It's really important that if you say you're going to do this, that you do it. Remember how I said this will help your system develop trust and cooperation? Well, if you say you're going to do it but don't, you're going to lose the trust of others in the system. But if you consistently show up, welcome everyone who is listening, and tell them what to expect for the day, and then thank them for their time, they're going to begin to realize that you are someone they can depend on. In other words, they may begin to give you a little bit of their trust, and that's crucial to healing. They will also begin to give you the benefit of the doubt. This helps the system begin to cooperate with you also. Over time, you should find that you get responses from the others, and this is evidence that the system communication is beginning to happen. I'm not sure there's anything else you could do in 2 or 3 minutes that will pay off in so many ways for your recovery from DID. It's that important.